Hey, my name is Sean, and I'm going to show you how to play Vegas Mountain, a 2 to 4 player co-op game where we will be working together to navigate the Las Vegas Valley and hike the different mountains that surround it. If we can hike the 3 selected mountains before we run out of gas in the car or cards in the deck, we win the game. To set up the game, start by taking the Valley Card Setups card and set up the Valley cards according to the difficulty that you'd like to play. The Valley cards will be laid out in a 3x3 grid shown here on the card. For your first game, I recommend using the Easy Ace setup, which is what I have shown here. You'll then select 3 out of the 6 mountains that you'd like to hike for the game. The difficulty of the mountains are indicated by the number of the sun icons next to its name. For your first game, it's recommended to use Red Rock, Black Mountain, and Lake Mead. Place the selected mountains face up around the valley according to their setup indicated on the back of the card. You'll then place the reference card nearby, which is located on the back of the Valley Card Setups card. This card shows the distribution of cards that are in the game, and it also has the gas track for the car at the bottom. We'll then take the gas cube and place on the 8th space of the gas track. This is keeping track of the gas in the car, which we will then be putting on the gas station car in the middle of the valley. Shuffle the deck of number item cards and deal cards out to each player according to the player count. So this is a 3-player game I currently have set up here, and so each player is going to be starting off with 4 cards. And the cards will be dealt out face down, so each player doesn't know what other players have in their hands, but for the sake of this example of showing you how to play, the cards will be face up. And now that we're all set up, I'll tell you about these cards that are in our hands. So each card has a color and a number and an item on it. And the colors and the numbers are going to be used for completing the hikes at the mountains, while the items can be used at any time for their benefits. Players are not allowed to share with each other what colors and numbers that they have in their hand, but they may say what items they have. So with that, let me show you how to move the car around the valley and get to these mountains. To move the car, players will decide together as a group which way they want the car to move and which mountain they want to get to the hike. To move the car, it will go 1 space at a time, up, down, or left or right, not diagonally, and for each space that you move, you spend 1 gas along the gas track. Some cards are going to require more gas to move into, indicated by the car icon, like on these construction cards, or on or on every mountain card will cost either 2 or 3 gas. If you ever run out of gas in the car and you can't refuel by, say, the gas station or the gas canister, the game is lost. As you move into the different valley cards, you can interact with them and gain its benefits. Like at the gas station, anyone can discard 1 card to immediately put 4 gas into the tank, with discarding up to 2 cards would be getting you a full tank of gas. At the camping store, players can get more cards into their hand. The group draws up to a total of 4 cards, and you can split them amongst the group how you choose. And a player can even view their card before deciding if they want to get more cards or not. At the farmer's market, each player can give 1 card to any other player that they wish. So these 2 cards, the camping store and the farmer's market, they can only be used once between each hike attempt. And as I've said before with the construction, they will be costing 2 gas instead of 1 to move through. So let's say we want to move to Red Rock here. We'll spend 1 gas to move into this desert, and you can spend another 2 gas indicated by the car icon on the mountain. So let's get into how you hike these mountains. So each mountain is going to depict 1 or more patterns on them that the players are going to have to match by playing out their cards from their hand together to build out these patterns. Each pattern is going to have built from left to right, and each pattern has to start off by building on the bottommost level. So we can see here at Red Rock there's a 3 pyramid of card pattern, followed by 2 cards, and then another 3 pyramid of cards. And to play out these cards, you have to follow a certain number of placement rules. So any player can play the first card, which will be one of these 2 cards on the bottom here. And so let's say maybe just one of these players will decide to play this card. And some things to keep in mind here with the placement rules is that when building cards out on a level, the cards have to be matching in color. So these 2 cards on the bottom are going to both have to be of the same color. To then play the next card above these 2 cards, it's going to have a higher number than these 2 cards. So this player had played this blue 2 here that indicates one of these 2 cards. One of these 2 players will now have to follow them up on this player. So there's no there's no turn order. It's just that the same player can't go twice in a row. So this player already played this card. They can't then play this blue card. Another player will have to play. So then we'll say this player could play this blue 1. And we've completed this bottom level of this pyramid. One of these two players will now just have to play a number that's higher than 1 and 2. So 3 or higher here could complete the hike. We could just maybe say this player would play here and they have completed this hike. We then move on to the next pattern in the sequence, which is just going to be 2 matching colors. And this player had just played the last card here, so they will not be allowed to play the next card. One of these two players will have to play. We could just say this player played this red, and we have this red here for this player. They completed this next one, and we get to this pattern here. So I kind of want to show you what would happen if a player had played a card that a player cannot play. Neither of these players have a yellow card, so they cannot play into this pattern to help out this level. What the players could do is use the items on the cards for their benefits to help get some more cards to help, or they would pass and the hike is a failure. So if you fail a hike, you're going to have to discard 2 cards from the top of the deck, and you could also discard up to 2 of the last cards played in the hike to help clean up maybe any mistakes you guys have made. So if the hike was a failure here, we discard 2, and we can maybe get rid of this card to help retry it. And you can then retry the hike immediately from where you left off, or you can go back and say visit the camping store and try again later. But let's say this player did not play this card. We played here instead, and then this player could follow with this 3 green, and now we can play on top with this 6, and we've completed the hike. If you complete a hike, you will immediately discard the cards used for the hike, and then recover a card from the discard pile. Or it might be even more than 1 card if you're lucky, depending on the mountain. But most mountains will give you 1 card back into any player's hand, and it'll be a certain type of card. For example, with Red Rock, we can recover 1 red or yellow card from the discard pile, and that card will go into any one of these 3 players' hands. So that's how you could complete or fail a hike, but as I've said, there's also these items on the cards that can be used to help complete the hikes. And let me tell you how to use these items. You can discard a card at any time from your hand to immediately gain an item's benefits. Items are never used from a hike. They have to be immediately discarded from your hand in order to use them. So with the different items, we have a water bottle, which the user could immediately draw 2 cards into their hand. If you use a campfire, any 2 players draws 1 card each. With a trail mix, any player can give 1 card to any other player. The gas canister can immediately put 3 gas into the tank. And the backpack is the only item that's not used directly. There's some mountains that will require a backpack to be played as a part of the hike to complete the hike. So for example, at Lake Mead, it has 1 backpack symbol. One of these 6 cards here will have to have a backpack symbol on it in order to complete Lake Mead. So if you ever fail a hike and you cannot discard from the 2 cards to the deck because the deck is empty, then the players lose the game. The game could also be lost if we run out of gas in the tank and we cannot refuel the car. But if you made it to the last mountain you need the hike and you run out of gas, you can still have a chance of winning by completing that mountain. And if all 3 mountains are hiked, then the players win the game. So that pretty much covers everything you need to know to play Vegas Mountain. Thanks for watching and take care.